It came from outside our solar system. Fast, silent, and completely unexpected. An object hurtled through space, drawing the attention of scientists as its trajectory revealed something unsettling. It doesn't belong here. And according to theoretical physicist Michio Kaku, it may not be what it seems. But here's the catch. While leading scientists raise red flags, NASA remains almost completely silent. No major press conference, no urgent findings, just scattered data and a public that's mostly in the dark. The object has a name, 3I Atlas. It's the third interstellar object we've ever detected. The first two? One shook the scientific community. The other blurred the line between natural and possibly artificial. But this one may be the most mysterious yet. And the deeper scientists dig, the more the data refuses to play by the rules. So, what is 3I Atlas? A rogue asteroid? A drifted tectonic shard from a distant system? Or something else? Let's break down what we know, why it's making experts uneasy, and what NASA still isn't telling us. 3I Atlas, officially named C-2023 Atlas, was first spotted on January 9, 2023, using the Asteroid Terrestrial Impact Last Alert System, ATLAS, in South Africa. At first glance, it looked like another hyperbolic comet. But early velocity calculations made it clear. This object isn't from here. Its velocity clocked at over 137,000 miles per hour on a path so steep and sharp that no known gravitational source in our solar system could have slingshotted it like this. Translation: it entered from outside the solar system. That immediately placed it in the same elite category as Oumuamua in 2017 and 2I Borisov in 2019, the only other two interstellar objects ever officially recorded by humanity. As astronomers tracked it over months, something strange happened. Although its hyperbolic path initially pointed toward interstellar origin, later data introduced doubts. Its orbital eccentricity, a measure of how sharply curved its path is, sits just above 1.0, the threshold for interstellar escape. This fringes on the edge of what's considered interstellar. Some scientists argue, yes, it's absolutely from deep space. Others caution, not so fast, slightly hyperbolic doesn't always mean alien. But here's where things get even messier and far more interesting. To put things in perspective, only 3 interstellar objects have ever been detected entering our solar system, and thousands of astronomers scan the sky daily. Let that sink in. In a universe with billions of stars and planets, we've only ever clocked 3 possible visitors from the vast reach beyond our system. That's not just rare, that's suspiciously rare. Because gravitational models estimate that tens of thousands of interstellar objects pass through our solar system every single year. But virtually all of them go undetected, too small or fast-moving for existing sensors. This raises 2 serious questions. 1. Are our systems so limited that we're missing nearly all of them? Or 2. Are the objects we do detect uniquely different, maybe even engineered to be noticed? Michio Kaku and others have pointed out a chilling idea. Maybe some of these visitors are not as random as we think. Maybe we're watching isolated pieces of something, intentional. So how does 3I Atlas fit into this mystery? Is it one of those rare natural wanderers, or something far more deliberate? What sets 3I Atlas apart isn't just its path, it's how it behaves while traveling that path. Initial brightness readings showed unusual light curves, meaning the object's reflection fluctuated unpredictably. Sometimes dimmer, then suddenly much brighter. Brightness flickers like this can indicate a tumbling motion, or surface composition that reflects sunlight in unexpected ways. At first, that could be explained by ice vaporizing as the object nears the sun, a standard behavior for comets. But this object didn't develop a classic coma. The glowing halo we expect when a comet gets warm. Not reliably, not consistently. Even stranger, some observing astronomers believe there's faint evidence of non-gravitational acceleration. That's the exact same phenomenon that made Oumuamua infamous. It changed its course, just slightly, in a way that had no visible source. No visible gas jets, no debris trailing thrust, just silent motion, as if being steered. Now, No one's declaring it's artificial, but the data has that slow creep weirdness. The kind of pattern that doesn't scream alien, but also doesn't sit comfortably in the just a rock category either. Michio Kaku picked up on this exact point in several recent interviews, and in the next section, we reveal what he warned, and why it echoes something he's been saying for years. Michio Kaku isn't just a familiar face on science documentaries. He's a world-renowned theoretical physicist and futurist deeply involved in space, quantum theory, and extraterrestrial life discussions. In a recent lecture shared across university panels and YouTube tech conferences, Kaku addressed a pattern that's growing harder to ignore. When objects from outside our solar system behave in ways we can't explain, especially twice, we need to consider that natural explanations may not be enough. According to Kaku, 3I Atlas isn't just another odd rock. He highlighted its unpredictable spin, the erratic brightness, the orbital awkwardness, then added a phrase that stuck with listeners. If you were trying to observe a planetary system without being detected, this is how you'd do it. That may sound like science fiction, but Kaku wasn't saying it is artificial. He was saying humans are ignoring the clues. He pointed to Oumuamua and now Atlas, and asked whether space agencies are choosing not to pursue answers that might open uncomfortable debates. After all, no one wants to be the first government body to say, "We saw something interstellar and didn't understand it." But this leads to a more troubling question. If scientists of Kaku's stature are calling for more attention, why is NASA so quiet? When Oumuamua passed through the solar system in 2017, it caused a scientific earthquake. It accelerated in a way no asteroid or comet should. Its shape, theorized to be cigar-like or pancake flat, defied categorization. It emitted no gas or dust. And yet, NASA issued only subdued briefings, mostly emphasizing its natural potential while downplaying the anomalies. They took the same route with Borisov, and now, with 3I Atlas, the pattern is repeating. There have been no public televised briefings, few mainstream articles, and almost zero detailed commentary from NASA's top observational programs. Press releases mention interesting characteristics, but never address interstellar origin with conviction. Many in the astronomy community have noticed. On space forums and Reddit threads, research students and amateur astronomers have asked, why is NASA classifying funky space rocks as comets, even when behavior doesn't match? Privately, several astrophysicists speculate that NASA and other major agencies practice a kind of deflection by classification. Anything unusual but unproven, call it a hyperbolic comet. Assign a number. Move on. This strategy avoids media panic, shields funding discussions, and keeps the topic within acceptable science territory. After all, the moment a government-funded agency uses terms like unexplained acceleration or possible technology, it opens a door that no one in politics, defense, or academia is quite ready to walk through. NASA's silence may not be sinister, but it is calculated, because acknowledging something like 3I Atlas as truly anomalous means we missed it and couldn't explain it. Again. When 1I Oumuamua entered our solar system, it behaved unlike anything we'd ever seen, and to this day, many of its characteristics remain unresolved. It had no comet tail, yet exhibited non-gravitational acceleration. It was unnaturally dry. No water vapor. No standard outgassing. Its brightness flickered in a way that suggested a highly reflective surface, and it left our solar system without a trace, silently gliding out at a flat trajectory. Dr. Avi Loeb, a Harvard astrophysicist, famously suggested Oumuamua could have been a defunct probe, powered by light sail technology, the kind Earth is only beginning to experiment with now. His theory drew attention, controversy, and backlash, but it wouldn't go away. It re-emerged when astronomers saw 2I Borisov, which did look like a classic comet. The contrast suggested Oumuamua wasn't just a weird comet, it was truly different. And now, with 3I Atlas, that pattern is starting to reappear. A strange, slightly hyperbolic orbit. Minor non-gravitational deviations. Light curves that don't match normal rocky behavior. Silence from official agencies. There's not a fluke anymore. It's a timeline. And for Michio Kaku and others, That trend points to one haunting possibility. We may already be observing the equivalent of interstellar spacecraft, Kaku said, but without the ability, or perhaps the willingness, to understand what we're looking at. Here's a truth we're only beginning to grasp. Not everything natural is explainable, and not everything unexplained is natural. As more data emerges around 3I Atlas, the silence becomes harder to ignore, not just from NASA, but from other major space agencies as well. Their unwillingness to speculate mirrors the response to Oumuamua almost exactly, as if there's a hard limit to what they're allowed to say out loud. Ironically, the private sector is often more open. Figures like Michio Kaku, Avi Loeb, and TED speakers have publicly asked, what if these aren't just random cosmic debris? What if they're probes, autonomous, programmed, ancient, designed not to answer, but to watch? These aren't stars crashing into planets. These objects are inserted, not accidentally flying past us, but moving through space in deliberately bizarre ways. And here's the kicker. If someone, or something, wanted to observe without being noticed, this is exactly the kind of unremarkable appearance you'd use. A flickering rock. Slightly off. Not enough to alarm, but enough to be logged. Enough to be tracked. And forgotten. But not by everyone. Here's where things get quiet. When amateur observers in Chile reported slightly irregular signal variances during 3I Atlas's pass, the story never hit mainstream science news. Online threads speculated an electromagnetic anomaly related to solar-wind interaction, possibly something more. Some Reddit astronomers claimed their threads were removed for speculative content, despite citing data feeds. And while none of this proves anything, it follows a pattern. Data leaks. Amateur investigations gain traction. Then, content quietly vanishes or gets buried beneath articles describing 3I Atlas as a harmless, icy traveler. This wouldn't be the first time. In 2017, community members tracking Oumuamua posted irregularities in reflectivity patterns, observations that were later duplicated by small observatories, then dismissed by peers for being inconclusive. Even funded researchers have hinted that the data we see isn't all the data collected. A growing cohort of scientists and theorists believe we're watching a kind of soft censorship, protecting the public or protecting a story. Either way, there's a silent war between what's being detected and what's being discussed. Let's lean into something deeply unsettling. 3I Atlas hasn't stopped to orbit. It hasn't surveyed a moon or entered a Lagrange point. It's passing through with deliberate speed on a strange trajectory, and it likely will never return. If this were a natural object, its route could be explained, eventually, by stellar drift or chaotic ejection. But here's the question that chills space theorists. Why do we only see them once? 3 interstellar objects, all different, all detected by accident, all gone within months. No looping or consistent flybys, no patterns, no returns. Some believe these are natural outliers, leftovers from ancient collisions between stars. Others believe they're test probes, non-invasive, non-interacting, but purposeful, not designed to land, not designed to communicate, just to pass through, look around, and leave. And if that's true, then it raises an even bigger concern. We did, according to trajectory models, 3I Atlas will soon vanish from reach. No long-term stationing. No second chances. Just like the 2 objects before it, it will leave behind bad data and worse questions. Our current space infrastructure simply isn't set up for rapid observation of fast-moving interstellar anomalies. In short, we're not prepared. Every time one of these objects appears, we scramble to aim telescopes, to gather meaningful readings, to extract answers from incomplete data. Many believe we missed a chance with 3I Atlas. Again. But the most haunting part? What if the object noticed that we didn't notice? What if ignoring these visits isn't keeping us safe, but showing how unready we really are? Michio Kaku put it simply. We're flying blind in cosmic traffic. We ain't greet them. We didn't even understand them. We just watched them go. 3I Atlas might be a comet, It might be a rogue rock kicked off world by forces we don't yet grasp. Or it could be something we were never meant to understand. At least, not yet. A case of cosmic hide and seek on a level we're just beginning to imagine. But one thing is clear. This object didn't just pass through space. It passed through our scientific blind spot. And most people will never even hear about it. The next interstellar visitor might be less subtle, or it might already be here, buried in the numbers scientists are hesitant to recheck. Either way, are we ready to ask the question we've been avoiding for years? Are we alone? Or are we just terrible at noticing when we're being watched? If you're as amazed and a little unsettled as we are, let's keep this investigation going. What do you think 3i Atlas really is? Do you believe NASA knows more than it's sharing? Or is everyone just as in the dark as we are? Comment below. Your theories might just guide our next deep dive. And if you want to be the first to hear when the next mystery hits Earth's telescope feeds, don't forget to subscribe and turn on those alerts. Because trust us, this won't be the last object that leaves our scientists speechless.